Tango. Veterans engage with other veterans about legislative issues impacting veterans and benefits derived from the Veterans Administration. Joining me today is Representative Dave Griffith. Dave is the chairman of the House Veterans Committee, and also Troy Williams. Troy is an accredited service officer with the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I'm Hal Dulle. And we are talking today with the Executive Director of the Missouri Veterans Commission, and that is Paul Kirchhoff. Good morning, Paul.
Morning.
Good to see you. Very good. And I want to say good morning to you too, Representative.
Good morning. Morning, Hal.
Good morning, Marine.
Good morning, Jarhead.
All right, I'll start with you, Representative.
Two Marines in a Green Beret. This is going to be an interesting
That's
show.
true. And we're going to talk about state veterans homes. We got 7 of them.
Yep.
And they're not filled.
Well, I tell you, and Paul, I appreciate you being here today. And you and I have had a number of conversations about homes. And when we went through COVID, there was an awful lot of issues that we dealt with, and a lot of families that were concerned about their loved ones that were there, and a lot of the issues that came really because of what came down from national, and you just abiding by what those rules are. But I think to begin with, and most of our audience is probably aware of the 7 veterans homes that we have, but let's begin just by telling people where those are.
Sure.
And
you know, you say that people are aware of them. I'm surprised every day that how many don't know that we have a homes program, or any of our programs for that matter. But the homes program are generally the most visible. You know, we hear about them, we see them. But this is a good opportunity to make that awareness out there. So we have homes in Cameron, Mexico, St. James, Warrensburg, Cape Girardeau, Mount Vernon, and St. Louis. And you know, they're kind of spread throughout the state to try to give the opportunity for all the veterans to have a place to go whenever that time comes for them.
I know a lot of people and a lot of veterans are saying that they're disappointed that we're not taking veterans in. Certainly during COVID, we couldn't take any veterans in, but that's changed, hasn't it?
Absolutely. During COVID, everybody was going through all the nursing homes, veterans homes were going through the same thing, trying to figure out how do we make it through this and protect the veterans and our staff. But we're back to the endemic phase of COVID, so we're back to normal. We are welcoming veterans into our homes as we are welcoming staff. So you know, we have to have the staff to take care of the veterans, and much like our number of veterans went, you know, during COVID we decreased the number of veterans. We also had trouble finding staff to work in the homes, but that's we're beyond that. We are back to it's a normal. It's very normal. There's a few changes here and there, but for the most part, anybody is welcome to come into our homes. If we have there is still COVID out there, or flu out there. So, you know, if that happens, we isolate the veteran in their room, but we don't close the home like we used to. We don't lock everyone down. Families are welcome in the rooms, talk with their loved one. Visitors are welcome. I mean, we love having the kids, like school kids, come in and visit with the veterans. It's good for those kids to talk with and see our veteran heroes. It's also really good for those veterans to actually see other people and interact with them, and it kind of rejuvenates them a little. So we're back to open doors. I walk into a facility, I may sign in, but there's no restrictions. You can go where you want and do what you want. Meet with your loved one, all of that. So we're very happy to be back to normal operations within our homes.
We talk a lot about COVID and how COVID changed everything. And back when Hal was the director, there was a lot of we were full to capacity. Mm-hmm. We had a waiting list for people to come in, and then COVID hit, and adjustments had to be made in order to do that. And you talked about staffing, and really I think that's one of the biggest things as far as staffing goes, that with COVID there were a lot of nursing homes that were out there and private homes that were there that were really stealing our people. They were offering sign-on bonuses. They were paying a lot more wage than what we could afford, what we could pay. But I think the one thing that, and I want to address this, is that the mandatory overtime that we have for our veterans homes, those have to be staffed. And if somebody calls in sick, and that person that thought they're going to get off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they get at 2:30, they find out that your replacement's not going to be here, so you got to stay. How's that? The mandatory overtime? Are we still under that edict, or is that kind of changed to a certain degree?
So mandatory overtime has always been around. It's just whenever you're short-staffed in a home such as what we were in, all of them during COVID, it just happened more often. So there is still some of that. They call it mandation, but it's decreasing. So most of we still have a couple of homes that are still trying to bring the staffing numbers up so they can bring in the veterans numbers. But you know, while that's the downside of it, you have to look at the positive side of it. Yes, we do have to have mandation, but that also proves that, or shows that we as an organization have better staffing rates than what you'll find generally in a private nursing home. So what that means is those veterans are better cared for. There's a better environment for the veterans and generally for the staff than what you'll find in a private facility. I've said it before that, you know, when my mom was in a nursing home, I had trouble finding anyone to let me out of the door. And she was in a private facility, and it was a good facility, all that. But if you can't find somebody to let you out the door, it kind of makes you wonder who's taking care of mom, who's taking care of dad. You won't find that in our facility. There's always staff available. There's always someone there. You know, they may be working with another veteran, but the staffing ratios are higher, and they're mandated that way by the VA. Now, I think they just passed a law saying that private homes have to increase theirs too. So,
yep.
You know, what that may mean for us, or what I see that meaning to us, is that we'll have that increased competition for that number of that. There's a finite number of people that can or will work in a nursing home. It's tough work, and it's hard to compete with as you said, you know, they were doing sign-on bonuses at one time. There was, you know, $10,000 sign-on bonus for a nurse in Southwest
Even CNAs,
Missouri.
they had sign-on bonuses for CNAs.
It's incredible what they were charging, and then you talk to traveling nurses, and the price for a traveling nurse was it was extremely high. We're no longer doing that, but you know, there's just so many people that got out of the field because it was very tough. It was very stressful for those people who work in nursing homes or hospitals, and you know, to care for an elderly person takes a special person anyway. Not, you know, I admire each and every one of those people that work in our homes, because they do something that I couldn't do it. And I mean, I could, but it's not something that I desire to do. And if you're working in a nursing home, you're generally you're there because you have a passion for giving back, and our staff, they have a passion for paying back those veterans and doing.
Well, and into that point, I think before prior to COVID, a lot of our veterans homes were a place that employees wanted to come. They wanted to come there because of state benefits. They wanted to come because of holiday. They wanted to come because of pension. They wanted to come also. The other point that needs to be pointed out is that they felt like that working there was really giving back to those that gave to us. And but I do want to talk initially I brought some people in from the Warrensburg, brought the director from Warrensburg in during one of my Veterans Committee hearings, and he brought 2 staff members with him. And at that time, morale was really low. And this one woman said that she cried going into work and she cried going home. How's the morale right now?
It's improving as we are getting back to that pre-COVID normal, you know, with allowing family members to come in and so forth. it has made a difference on not just the morale of the staff, but of the morale of the veterans. So, and those go in parallel. Whenever the staff see that the veterans are enjoying life again and are doing, they're able to get back to the things that they love, seeing their family members doing the things that they love to do, that helps that staff morale. So, you can never have too high of a morale.
Yeah.
Old Army dog, you know that. But you can never.
Marines had that too.
Well, I don't know if they do. I think it's forced morale there. But at any rate, I think that morale is we're working on it every day, but it is getting better.
Hal?
Victor Tango, Veterans Talk. We'll be right back. Victor Tango, Veterans Talk. Visiting with the Executive Director of the Missouri Veterans Commission, Paul Kirchhoff, today. Joining me is Dave Griffith, State Representative and Chairman of the House Veterans Committee, and also Troy Williams, who's Accredited Service Officer. Troy?
Yeah, I would like to talk to Paul about so about 3 or 4 years ago, I had a chance to tour all the veterans homes, and I'd never been in one before that time. And I would like to know like how you can explain better than I can, walking into a veterans home, how it's more of a home than it is a nursing facility.
Yeah, so when I was growing up, my dad was a preacher, so I used to go on hospital calls and nursing home calls with him as a little kid, and I can always remember walking into some of those old nursing homes that not only just what you see, you can smell it. That kind of that urine smell, and I think that's changed over the years in a lot of private facilities, but still I spoke about my mom. There was a couple that we decided right off the bat, no, I'm never gonna put mom there. You walk into our facilities, any of our facilities, and it looks like you're walking into, it's a nice home, but it looks like you're walking into a home. The entryways are always well done. You'll always find a veteran in the lobby or outside enjoying the weather. It has a home feel, and it's not just in the entryway. I always make sure and do the walkthroughs down the halls, and it's that same feel throughout. It's just the teams take great pride in not just the care of the veterans, but the appearance of the facility. That's part of the value of it, is that you want our veterans to come in and not feel like they're in a nursing home, or they're in a home. So it's important that and we know it's important that we maintain the cleanliness and the feel of being in their home.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is veterans are all over the place in a veterans home. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing I got out of going to those homes was the conversations I had with the veterans. Yeah. I mean, they want you to sit down and they want you to talk, and they don't want you to leave. They want to have that conversation. Mm-hmm. Anybody can go to a veterans home and come tour the home, correct?
Yeah, we highly encourage it. In fact, a lot of times I like to go down there, and I encourage our staff to go, the headquarters staff to go visit the homes for a lot of reasons. One, they need to know what's going on in the home, so we can better support them. Yeah. But also, it's a morale booster for our headquarters staff to visit a home and talk with those veterans and get a feeling of, hey, this is why I'm here. And as we were talking about with the kids, it's not just kids. Well, they really love the kids to come in, but yeah, every veteran loves it to tell their war stories and what they've done in their past, and it's motivating to me to listen to them and talk to them, and it's humbling to talk to someone. There's a veteran in St. James, he's 104 years old. Was in the Battle of the Bulge. The history. You can read about history, but you talk to these veterans, and you're talking to someone who lived that history that you've heard about in books and seen on movies. It gives you a real sense of why it's important that we care for these veterans, because they've earned it.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that kind of switching to the legislative side of this, it's unfortunate that money always has a way of entering into what we do in life, and really as far as the Missouri Veterans Commission, that's something that is a priority for me, and I think for my committee, and I know it is for you. But the homes that we've got, they're 20 years old or plus, and so a lot of the maintenance issues that we've got with them have been put off, and I think I heard you say one time that you had to learn how the coolers work in some of these homes, because if you're up on top of the building trying to figure out how to fix them. So this past session that we had, the funding that came out really was not what the governor had recommended. It was not what, and there's a theory or a thought that marijuana is going to be the salvation for all of the Missouri Veterans Commission, when in fact it's not. But talk about the maintenance we've got on those. At the very end of session, an additional $5 million was added to the Missouri Veterans Commission. What effect did that $5 million have on you, even though the shortcome was still there?
So first of all, I'd like to thank you for your steadfast support for all things veteran. You've gone above and beyond in taking care of Missouri's veterans, and we as a group owe you a debt of gratitude. But so the funding, I think every organization within the state government can always say, hey, we can use more. But what it means to us is that the funding that we have, we'll be able to maintain operations, we'll be able to continue to take care of veterans, but we'll have to defer. We'll have to continue to defer maintenance on, as you said, it's not just 20-year-old homes. There's 20-year-old cemeteries too. So, and if you own a home, you know that there's just a length of time. There's a certain period where things start going bad, or in your car, and we're kind of at that point in a lot of our facilities with roofs that need to be replaced. Shingles only last so long. There's a couple of homes that have some leaks that we're doing the patch work that we can. But it costs multi-million dollars to replace the roof on a home. It's they're a large building, and we'll put that off until we can find a way to pay for it. There are benefits that other state employees may get that I can't pay for out of our budget. We don't get general revenue to pay our state employee salaries. It comes out of the money that comes in through our normal funds, and we didn't get any extra money to pay for some of those added benefits, and we'll have to defer that until such time as we can have it in our budget. But we're working year to year. Most businesses have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. We have a 1-year plan, and that's we've been very fortunate. Through the legislature and the governor's office, you all have gone over and above to do everything you can to meet our needs. But that's just the reality, that it costs a lot of money to run our facilities and keep the maintenance going, and we're at a point where it's becoming critical.
Troy, wait, you got 2 minutes left. So
Yes, so I was going to ask, as the MAVO chairman, Missouri Association of Veterans, we represent veterans across the state. We fight for the Missouri Veterans Commission. But as veterans, we want to know, and this is a reassurance maybe we can get from you, that the veterans' homes will be there, the cemeteries will be there, our free service officers will be there 5 years, 10 years, when it's my turn to be able to have access to the veterans' home or a cemetery. Is it going to be there for us?
So I don't have a 5-year plan.
Yeah,
As I said, I've got a 1-year plan.
Yeah.
So we as an organization, veterans as a group, used to be very strong. If a veteran came into someone's office, everybody listened, because there was voting power. There was some oomph behind what you were saying. But we've kind of scattered, and other issues have become more important. We're not talking about the needs as veterans. We're talking about other issues. So in order to make sure that that MAVA, or not MAVA, but the Veterans Commission is viable for the long term, we've got to coalesce as a group, as veterans, and express the need, the desire, the emphasis on veterans issues once again.
Yes.
We've gotten past that.
We've got to unify as veterans across the state.
Right.
And here's the one thing I will always say. The government will always give to the veterans, but they can take away as easy as they gave. We have to unify as veterans, and the Missouri Veterans Commission is something we can get behind, because we want those to be there for us and for the next generation. Thanks, Paul.
Paul Kirchhoff, our guest today, the Executive Director of the Missouri Veterans Commission. I want to thank you for being with us today. I want to thank our veterans for listening to Veterans Talk, Victor Tango. Until next time, I'm Hal Dulle.